Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Today we will be reading from True Off My Chest. Our first post is by Throwaway. My wife is cheating on me. Things have been off with my wife. We have been together for 15 years, and married for 5. We have a 14-month-old and things have been rough since he was born, with them getting a lot worse in the last few months. She's gotten face injections and has gone through weight loss that would point to drug use. She's been protective of her phone and generally dodgy. I confronted her and was completely gaslit, to the point that I set an appointment with a therapist because I thought I was being paranoid and insecure and had to figure out why I felt the way I did. She went to the mountains yesterday saying that she needed a weekend to herself, and she wanted to go snowboarding and get a full night's rest away from the fussing baby, and it didn't feel right. She went back on birth control without discussing it with me. She went and got face injections. She went and got waxed and asked me to put the board rack on her roof, despite claiming she was the only one going. There were too many red flags for me to not hire a private investigator. The private investigator immediately secured photographs and video of the affair. Turns out she's screwing her boss. They are up there until Sunday, probably still screwing right now. I feel like a fool. We've all hung out multiple times. I'm so mad that she could blow up not just our lives, but the life of our 1-year-old. I'm stuck having to deal with her because of our shared son for essentially the rest of my life. I contacted a lawyer to file for divorce and plan to confront her when she gets back, but the divorce isn't likely to process for over a year. This is going to suck for a long time. Our next post is by Many Hour. I'm convinced my coworker intentionally triggered my allergy. I, 23F, work in a small team of 8 people as a part of a larger program. This is my 4th year here, and I've always had issues with this coworker, 27F, who I'll call Christina. She is also in her 4th year here. Christina has a very flirtatious personality, flirting with a now former coworker, trying to sit in my lap on several occasions, wearing very revealing clothes that led to HR writing her up. She also has a slew of mental disorders that cause her to be very narcissistic and manipulative. I started noticing her behavior a few months into working with her, and I tried to keep my distance the best I could. Even so, she behaves childishly, talks about everyone behind everyone else's backs, and tries to push my boundaries, but I generally am able to keep her out of my business. But ever since she came back to work after a vacation home a few months ago back in November, she has started escalating, playing victim, barely coming to work, blaming others for things that went wrong due to her negligence, complaining about being rushed for things she was supposed to have done months ago, etc. Now for the kicker, her birthday comes around, and every time there's a birthday or celebration, we'll get a cake that the birthday guy or girl likes. Christina complains about every cake we get for anyone. It's too sweet, too much icing, not a good flavor, too fudgy, blah blah blah. And the only cakes she likes are cakes with fruit and ice cream cakes. I have a severe dairy allergy and I don't have an EpiPen due to insurance issues, but it was her birthday, so I went and bought the ice cream cake she begged for myself since everyone else was too busy. It was this green pistachio ice cream cake with this vanilla buttercream, crushed pistachio and toffee bits on top. It was around $40, and I was using the snack funds that she also hasn't contributed to in almost a year, so I didn't think I should spend anything for myself. Also, it's a little no-name ice cream parlor. What else could I buy for myself there that won't kill me? I bring the cake back and we sing happy birthday. The ice cream cake was cut and my supervisor asked me why I wasn't eating any. He never remembers I'm allergic until he's reminded. I gently tell him I can't eat any, and she chimes in that I could just take a Benadryl and be fine, which pissed me off. My supervisor was upset that I didn't get anything for myself, but I told him that it was purchased from an ice cream parlor and was pretty expensive as is, to which he expressed that we should make sure to get things that everyone can eat from here on out. This obviously pissed her off, and this is why I think she did what she did next, but at the time, I didn't pay any mind to her anger. Literally 2 weeks later to the day, we were supposed to celebrate a holiday and she was tasked with getting the cake. She went to the bakery and picked up one she thought was the best. I asked her if it had any dairy at all in private, hoping she would be honest, and she told me that it didn't. So I nodded and we all cut the cake and had it together. I didn't notice anything weird since it wasn't your conventional type of cake. It had like a plain glaze on top that was obviously not dairy-based, and the inside had what I thought was a strawberry blueberry jelly. Not even 10 minutes later, my throat starts itching and I feel a little off. It was the end of the day, and I drink a little water hoping I'm just feeling a little under the weather and dehydrated, which wouldn't be completely implausible since I was sick earlier this week. But it kept getting worse, and I had this feeling that she lied to me. I went to the bakery website and had to scour a little bit for the specialty menu, and I saw that it had cream cheese mixed into the filling. Right after I saw that, my supervisor had a question about something for my project, and as I'm talking to him, my throat is getting more and more tight and my voice is getting hoarser by the second. He asks me if I'm okay, and I tell him I think I'm having an allergic reaction. He asks me if I have any Benadryl, and I tell him that I ran out of my travel bottle and was supposed to buy more today after work. He tells me that I need to go home or to a hospital because I don't look okay. I leave his office and go to grab my things to leave. Christina stops me and since I was coughing really badly tells me I should put on a coat because she said it was cold when it wasn't and wanted to adjust the AC. I tell her no because I'm not cold. I'm having an allergic reaction to the cake. I shit you not. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "No, you're not." At this point, I'm shocked that she just told me that my throat wasn't closing. I said, "Yeah, I am." She responded with, "How are you having an allergic reaction? There was no dairy in the cake." I said, "There was." She literally responded to that with, "Nope." I go into my phone, find the bakery again, find the ingredients again and show her. She says, "Well, that's not true because I asked the lady there and she told me that it didn't have any dairy in it." I replied with my voice that now sounds worse than someone who smoked 6 packs a day for 30 years. "Well, someone is lying then." She didn't have a response and I grabbed my stuff and drove home half dead because I'm still paying off my hospital bills from an accident I was in last year and I can't afford another bill. I popped my Benadryl, went to bed and didn't die. So yay. But I am fully convinced that because I didn't eat her birthday cake, she wanted to test to see if I was lying about my allergy. I'm very careful about not eating dairy, especially at work, and I think she wanted to try to have a gotcha moment to expose me for lying about an allergy so that she can keep getting her ice cream cake for her birthday. But it backfired, and now everyone is angry with her. Everyone has a short fuse with her now, and she barely even speaks to me, which I enjoy. Our next post is by my very angry throwaway. I have to confront my wife tonight. My wife and I have a great relationship and love each other deeply. Only issue is we never have sex. We've been married for 7 years and have regularly gone more than a year without sex. I've only bought condoms once in my life. It was 4 years ago and we still have like half of them. Today I woke up so anxious and frustrated and couldn't figure out why I was snappy and grumpy. It's because today scares me now. We haven't been intimate since last Valentine's, I think, and I now have just general anxiety about it. It sucks. She's working on it. She's started therapy recently, and even her therapist was like, "Whoa, there's a lot to unpack there." Before anyone says she's cheating, she isn't. My money is on unrealized asexuality mixed with some religious trauma, but she genuinely doesn't know what her issue is. She just can hardly ever get into sex. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't gross her out. She finds me attractive, she loves me, but something stops her from wanting or accepting physical intimacy. I have to talk to her tonight. I feel like my lack of understanding and her lack of communication in this area is affecting how I view her. I can't even get excited to see her naked anymore because it hurts to get my hopes up and get rejected again. We hardly ever kiss more than just a peck because I'm afraid of getting my blood pumping and getting let down again. I don't want to divorce her. I love her more than anything. I don't want an open marriage because I know that isn't for either of us. But there's this big piece of our relationship that's missing and it sucks. Thanks for reading, I guess. Happy Valentine's, Edit. Thanks for all the well wishes and advice. It went really well and we actually had a great talk about some of the disconnect between the two of us in the bedroom. To those saying we aren't a good couple, I say this. Eat my A. We've been together for 13 years and are so in love every day. She has anxiety issues and this affects her libido in a very unfortunate way. Just because she is unable to have sex doesn't mean we have a bad relationship or that I should leave her. If that's how you view relationships, I feel sorry for your partner if you ever get one. Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.